We have our guest speaker tonight, a friend of mine, the MP for Tottenham and a mayoral candidate for the London mayoral elections next year. So without any more ado, I'm going to introduce my friend David Lammy, MP.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Someone in the media, I think it was the Daily Mail, described me as the dark horse of the mayoral race for London. I am not a horse. This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Bambos and I are North London boys. Yes? Yeah, we are. Spurs supporters. We grew up in this part of London in the 70s. I am the taller, thinner, good-looking one. And Bambos is the wise, older one. But this is important. Why is this meal important? There are some of you in this room who know this very, very well. Growing up in Tottenham and North London during the 1970s, I remember so well the nature of community in those days. I grew up in the homes of white Cockney families, of Irish families, of West Indian families, and Cypriot families. That was the North London I grew up in. And it is a huge, huge moment that on May the 7th, or the early hours of May the 8th, we will be in a situation where we get the news that Labour has won Enfield Southgate, and that we have our first Cypriot MP. What a journey. What a journey. What a journey. And the returns are fantastic. I've been up, I've knocked on doors, I've opened the door, some of these very posh houses. I've thought maybe they were Tories, but they've said no, we're sick of Cameron and we love Bambos. And the returns are looking good. This could be a very, very, very important win. Because if we're making strides in Enfield Southgate, my friends, we will be forming the government. And that is hugely, hugely important. All that we value in this room. And I look around, I see the faces, I think of the wonderful work that goes on at this centre with the elderly particularly. And I think of the travesty that is the NHS at this time. You know, you find yourself in A&E, you could be waiting for hours. You're trying to ring for a GP, to see the GP, you've got to spend the whole day on the phone to get the appointment. No, you don't get it. I'm told you don't get it. You get it in Haringey. Look, this is what they've done. This is what they've done. And this is why it's so important that we win in Enfield Southgate, but that we ultimately win the government. I don't know if any of you saw the debates. You saw the debates? Yes. And you know what the media's like. I thought some of the questioning, frankly, of Ed Miliband was a disgrace. And let me just tell you, as the first in my family to get my GCSEs, to get A-levels, to go to university, I am proud to be a North London geek. And I know there are many of you in this room that feel exactly the same as me. So they're hostile. Why are they hostile? They're hostile because if you stand up to Rupert Murdoch as Ed Miliband has, they're going to come for you. If you stand up to those energy companies, they're going to come to you. If you make it very, very clear that enough's enough, no, we're not going to go and start dropping bombs on Syria, they're going to come to you. I know the guy. He's another North Londoner. I've known him for many, many years. He has tremendous courage and guts. It's the toughest job in the country, frankly, leading the opposition against this media. But he can do it. And what I saw in those debates was someone fired up. Cameron was all nervous at the beginning. He didn't want the debates. He didn't want the scrutiny. And he had a bit of scrutiny and he saw the nerves coming through. So we can do it. But to do it, we need your support and your cash and your generosity. Very grateful, because it pays for the literature and the organising. And those of you who are fit and able, and as I look around this room, I see many, many people who are fit and able. If you can knock on a door, if you can deliver a leaflet, because you see, so far, how many on the electoral roll in?
About 63,000.
63,000. And we have managed to knock on the doors of
31,000.
31,000. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we want to get close to that 63 over the coming month. Obviously, the short campaign now is really the action time. This is the time when people come out. If we can get closer to that and know where the Labour votes are, then we can do it. So it's hugely important. If you can help, or if you've got a teenager at home, because under this government they're definitely at home. If you've got a 20-something at home, because under this government they're definitely at home. If you've got a 30-something. No, I'm serious. Do you know the average age for buying a house in London this year? 39. It's going to be 52 in a generation if we continue under this. Do you know how many council houses we built in London last year? 40. 40. And housing associations are not building in the way they were because they aren't getting the grant. By the way, that's why there is another son of North London that's putting his name forward to see if he can make it from Tottenham to become mayor. And I hope I'm going to get your support. It's a long, long way from Broadwater Farm to City Hall. I haven't got a blonde mop. I didn't go to Eton. I don't want to be Prime Minister. I want to be the MP for Tottenham, but other than the MP for Tottenham, I want to be mayor. I want to do something about this housing crisis that we're in. You know, it's an amazing thing to be able to buy a house. I bought mine at 27, and I just think that has disappeared. I see the queues of people on council social, on the lists, trying to get a council home. Actually, Doug Taylor's doing amazing things in Enfield. He really is. He's one of the pioneers on this stuff. Challenging some of the nonsense around the green belt, actually building. But the system is broken. It's structurally broken, and it really needs some shifting. So that's why I want to be mayor. But, you know, the issues that will come up in this election, the national election, will largely be three. They will be deficit reduction. they will be the NHS, and they will be immigration. There will be this veneer of nastiness around immigration because of this man called Nigel Farage. You can boo and hiss, Nigel Farage. And it's nasty stuff. It's nasty stuff because it's really code. The truth is, we're living in tough times. Yes, there are kids at home. Yes, rents are rising. Yes, you can't get on the housing ladder. Wages are falling. All of those problems exist in our society, and we need a Labour government to meet those challenges head on. Then a charlatan comes along. Charlatan, that's what he is. And he says, if your kid's at home, if your rent's rising, if your wages aren't going up, I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is the immigrant. Never mind the fact that 40% of our nurses are immigrants. The problem is the immigrant, and the solution is pulling out of Europe. You have to think about it. It's absolute nonsense. I wish it were that simple. I wish it were that simple. It's not. We've got to meet that head on. But, crucially, here in North London, we have an opportunity. In Haringey, we can get rid of Lynn Featherstone. And in Enfield, we can get rid of Nick Dubois. And an even bigger opportunity, in my view, given he doesn't even know where the boundaries of his constituency are, we can get rid of David Burrows. We can make this a Conservative and Lib Dem free zone. Haringey and Enfield. And a bit of luck, Sarah Sackman over in Barnet. We can also do that, and Andrew Dismore as well. We can do it here in North London. That's what it means to be a North London geek. Me and Bambos are proud to be one. We're going to do it. Thank you very much.
That was David Lammy, the next Mayor of London. Thank you.
Καλησπέρα σας, καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές. Βρισκόμαστε σε μια εκδήλωση ειδικά για την προσπάθεια βοήθειας οικονομικής όσον αφορά την επόμενη κίνηση που πρέπει να κάνει ο Πάμπος Χαραλάμπους, ο υποψήφιος Κύπριος βουλευτής. Τον έχουμε μαζί μας εδώ για να μας μιλήσει για αυτή την εκδήλωση και να μας πει και λίγα λόγια για την προσπάθειά του να μπει στην Βουλή των Αντιπροσώπων. Κύριε Χαραλάμπους, καλησπέρα.
Καλησπέρα.
Πριν προχωρήσουμε σε αυτή την διοργάνωση, την απόψινή, μπορείτε να μας δώσετε λίγα λόγια για τον δικό σας, για την ιδιότητά σας καταρχήν και έτσι λίγο ιστορικό. Πώς φτάσατε, πώς μπήκατε στην πολιτική.
Ναι, που ήμουν μικρός γίνηκα μέρος του Εργατικού Κόμματος. Ήμουν 16 χρόνια δηλαδή. Οι γονείς μου πάντα ήταν αριστεροί, ήταν με το Αγγέλ. Έμαθα που ήμουν μικρός να είμαι και εγώ αριστερός. Και μετά που γίνηκα μέλος, μετά πήγα να σπουδάσω στο Πανεπιστήμιο. Ψηφίσαμε αντιπρόεδρο για το Liverpool Polytechnic, το Student Union. Και μετά γύρισα στο Λονδίνο και ύστερα από 2 χρόνια ευκάλαμε δημιουργών σύμβουλο για το Palmer's Green. Και είμαι οδηγός, ήμουν 21 χρόνια που είμαι δημιουργός σύμβουλος για το Palmer's Green. Και είπα είναι ευκαιρία τώρα να προχωρήσω, να γίνω βουλευτής.
Ποια άλλη ιδιότητα έχετε, με τι ασχολείστε σαν επάγγελμα?
Ναι, σπουδάσα νομικά και είμαι δικηγόρος εγώ. Ναι, κάνω housing law, δουλεύω για το Δημαρχείο του Hackney και πάω τακτικά στο δικαστήριο.
Στα 21 χρόνια λοιπόν που είστε στην πολιτική, έχετε εντοπίσει κάποια σοβαρά προβλήματα που υπάρχουν στην περιοχή εδώ και ειδικότερα που αντιμετωπίζουν οι Κύπροι, οι συμπατριώτες μας?
Ναι, πολλά σοβαρά προβλήματα. Εκεί που έχασαν το σπίτι τους και γυρεύουν να μείνουν αλλού. Εκεί που έχουν πρόβλημα με το Δημαρχείο, ιδίως με το planning. Έχει άλλους που δεν είναι τόσο σοβαρά, σαν το δεν δρά στους δρόμους τους. Πολλά διάφορα προβλήματα.
Με τους συμπατριώτες μας που έρχονται τώρα από την Κύπρο και την Ελλάδα, γιατί μιλάμε τώρα για την παροικία μας και είστε ένας που θα μπορέσετε να εκπροσωπήσετε την παροικία μας. Υπάρχουν πάρα πολλά προβλήματα. Πιστεύετε ότι τα εντοπίσατε? Είναι αυτό που είπατε, housing, δουλειές και όλα αυτά. Υπάρχει, ας πούμε, κάποιος προγραμματισμός που μπορείτε να βοηθήσετε στην προσπάθεια λύσης αυτών των προβλημάτων?
Ναι, προσπαθούμε. Είναι δύσκολη υπόθεση, επειδή στο Δήμο του Enfield, στο Λονδίνο, παντού, έκοψαν τα λεφτά η κυβέρνηση και όλοι βρίσκουν στην δυσκολία τώρα με την αδόκουση του κόσμου, προς να τους βοηθήσουν. Πολλές δύσκολες σχέσεις τώρα. Μα νομίζω έχουμε τρόπο. Κάνουμε πολλά καλά πράγματα στο Δήμο του Enfield, που είμαι εγώ δημοτικός σύμβουλος. Και νομίζω μπορούμε να κάνουμε πράγματα, μα είναι πολλά τώρα πιο δύσκολα. Ναι.
Όσον αφορά τώρα το κυπριακό, είναι ένα θέμα που δεν νομίζω να μην το εντόπισε κανείς και εσείς είστε ένας άνθρωπος ο οποίος, εάν εκλεγείτε, θα μπορέσετε να βοηθήσετε. Πιστεύετε μέχρι τώρα ότι η αγγλική κυβέρνηση έχει βοηθήσει και έχει, ας πούμε, επισημάνει τον τρόπο αντιμετώπισης του προβλήματος για να μπορέσει να βοηθήσει προς τη λύση του?
Εγώ νομίζω πως μπορεί να κάνει παραπάνω η κυβέρνηση της Αγγλίας. Μα πρέπει να φωνάξουμε και εμείς η παροικία. Και καμιά φορά δεν είχαμε Κύπριον βουλευτή. Γιατί όχι, πρέπει να προχωρήσουμε τώρα. Όλες οι άλλες οι φυλές που ήταν ξένοι στην Αγγλία έχουν δημοτικούς σύμβουλους, έχουν βουλευτές. Γιατί εμείς όχι? Και εγώ νομίζω αν έχουμε εμείς έναν Κυπρέον, μπορεί να μην είναι εγώ, αν δεν είναι κάποιος άλλος, να προχωρήσει παραπάνω το Κυπριακό. Μα εγώ θα είμαι μόνο μια φωνή σε 650. Και με αυτό μου θέλουμε παραπάνω κόσμο να έρθει μπροστά να ψηφίσει.
Πιστεύετε ότι οι Κύπροι, οι συμπατριώτες μας και οι Ελλαδίτες, γιατί είναι αυτοί που οι πιθανοί, ας πούμε, ψηφοφόροι και οι άλλοι φυσικά, αλλά οι Κύπροι και οι Ελλαδίτες, πιστεύετε ότι έχουν εντοπίσει την ανάγκη, έχουν αναγνωρίσει το γεγονός ότι είναι αναγκαίο να ενταχθούν στα πολιτικά κόμματα για να μπορέσουν να βοηθήσουν προς αυτήν την κατεύθυνση?
Να σας πω, έχουν ορισμένους που είναι μέλη στα κόμματα, μα χρειαζόμαστε παραπάνω κόσμο να ενδιαφέρονται, να γίνουν ψηφοφόροι, να προχωρήσουν για εκείνοι. Εγώ τους λέγω, ελάτε μέσα, να ενδιαφέρεστε, να κάνετε κάτι το καλό.
Όσον αφορά τώρα τις προσπάθειες που κάνουν οι άλλοι βουλευτές, γιατί είμαι σίγουρος ότι υπάρχουν κάποιοι βουλευτές πολύ στενοί φίλοι της Κύπρου. Πιστεύετε ότι έχουν κάνει αρκετά μέχρι τώρα?
Προσπαθήσαμε, μα να σας πω ότι δεν έχουν θέσεις μεγάλες στην κυβέρνηση. Γι' αυτό με το πρόβλημα. Και να σου πω, δεν είναι μόνο να είναι οι βουλευτές, είναι και οι οργανώσεις, σαν το Foreign Office. Κάποτε δεν είναι μόνο οι βουλευτές, είναι και εκείνοι που δουλεύουμε στο Foreign Office. Είναι για αυτά που πρέπει να τα δούμε κιόλας.
Αυτά θα δείτε. Εσείς, αν εκλεγείτε, είμαι σίγουρος ότι οι προσπάθειες γίνονται για να επιτύχετε, να εκλεγείτε. Ποιος είναι ο προγραμματισμός, τι θα κάνετε?
Εγώ η παιδεία είναι ένα από το πιο σημαντικό γυαλό μου. Ξέρω πως οι γονείς μου δεν πιάσουν παραπάνω το δημιουργικό σχολείο και εγώ θέλω όλοι οι Κύπροι να έχουν την καλύτερη ευκαιρία να προχωρήσουν στην education, είναι το πιο κυριότερο γυαλό μου. Έτσι νομίζω είναι το γύρο που είναι το πιο
σημαντικό.
Ναι.
Όσον αφορά το θέμα της Κύπρου?
Και η Κύπρος συνήθως δεν θα είμαι μόνο βουλευτής για τους Κυπρέους, θα είμαι βουλευτής για όλη την περιοχή. Και υπάρχουν Τουρκοκύπροι, υπάρχουν Ινδιάνοι, υπάρχουν άλλες φυλές. Και θέλω να είμαι βουλευτής για όλες τις φυλές. Μα είναι κυριότερο και το Κυπριακό. Πρέπει να το προχωρήσουμε, να βρούμε λύση. Έχει 40 χρόνια που προχωρούμε, που προσπαθούμε να βρούμε λύση και πρέπει να δούμε άλλους τρόπους τώρα.
Άρχισε εκστρατεία λοιπόν για να μπορέσετε να καλύψετε κάποια έξοδα. Είναι ακριβή η προσπάθεια αυτή, κοστίζει από ό,τι αντιλαμβάνομαι. Και σαν αυτή η εκδήλωση φαντάζομαι έγιναν κι άλλες. Προχωράτε κανονικά, έχετε ανταπόκριση από το κοινό?
Ναι, προχωρούμε, έχουμε βοήθεια, πάμε καλά. Μα θέλουμε να βάλουμε τα πιο δυνατά μας που θα μέτρη να πάει. Επειδή σε μόνο να μας 5-6 εβδομάδες και θέλουμε να πούμε όλου του κόσμου να μας ψηφίσει που έχουν το δικαίωμα, οι ψηφοφόροι. Και νομίζω αν έρθει η παροικία και μας ψηφίσει, έχουμε μεγάλη ευκαιρία να γίνω ο πρώτος βουλευτής που είναι Κυπρέος.
Είχα ακούσει προηγουμένως τον David Lammy, ο οποίος έχει αποχωρήσει δυστυχώς, ότι υπάρχουν 65.000 ψηφοφόροι στην περιοχή εκεί και έχετε πλησιάσει ήδη, χτυπήσατε πόρτες, δηλαδή ανοίξαν οι πόρτες για σας 31.000 ήδη.
Ναι,
έτσι.
Σωστά, ναι.
Και έχετε δηλαδή να καλύψετε τις υπόλοιπες χιλιάδες μέχρι 65.
Ναι, έτσι προσπαθούσαμε. Είναι δύσκολο, επειδή μόνο έχουμε ένα άλλο 40 μέρες. Μα να βάλουμε δυνατά μας να βρούμε τον κόσμο να μας απαντήσουν, να δούμε τι θα μας πούν.
Ποια είναι η αντιμετώπιση που βρίσκεται όταν μπείτε σε ένα σπίτι, σας λένε και τα προβλήματά τους? Ή...
Ναι, συνέχεια λέμε τα προβλήματά μας λένε πώς είναι ευχαριστημένοι με τους συντηρικούς και θέλουν άλλαγμα, θέλουν να μπει το ραδιόκομμα. Και χαίρονται που μας βρίσκουν που τους μιλούμε.
Χαίρονται.
Ναι, χαίρονται.
Λοιπόν, επομένως, οι υποσχέσεις σας σε αυτούς ποιες είναι? Τι τους λέτε ότι θα κάνετε αν εκλεγείτε?
Τους λένε πως αν είμαι εγώ ο βουλευτής σας, θα με θεωρείτε πιο σύντομα από τον βουλευτή τώρα, θα είμαι η φωνή σας στην Βουλή και θα σας βοηθήσω όσο μπορώ.
Μάλιστα. Λοιπόν, την Πέμπτη, λοιπόν, 7 του Μάη, έτσι.
Ναι, ώρα 7 σειρά μέχρι ώρα 10 το βράδυ.
Ναι. Πέστε το έτσι, αν θέλετε, με το δικό σας πνεύμα και με το δικό σας τρόπο στους τηλεθεατές μας, γιατί πρέπει να έρθουν να σας ψηφίσουν.
Αν θέλουν να δουν τον πρώτον Κύπρο βουλευτή, πρέπει να έρθουν να μας ψηφίσουν. Δίχως να με βοηθήσουν η παροικία, δεν μπορώ να τους βοηθήσω εγώ.
Ακριβώς. Πολύ, πολύ απλά τα είπατε.
Ναι.
Σας ευχαριστώ.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.
Εύχομαι κάθε επιτυχία.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.
Να είστε καλά. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.
We're going to have 3 speeches tonight. They won't be very long, so we can get back to the dancing as well. So the first person I'm going to invite up to make a speech is Joanne McCartney, our Assembly Member for Enfield and Haringey.
Well, thank you, and I'm delighted to be here and see so many friends in this room today supporting Bambos. I think I want to say 3 things, really. Firstly, 10 years ago, when I became the Assembly Member for Enfield and Haringey, we had 5 Labour MPs across those 2 constituencies. And I hope I'm going to wake up on May the 8th and I'm going to find we've got 5 Labour MPs again across Enfield and Haringey. As David Lammy said earlier, the numbers are looking very good in Southgate. We saw the GLA campaign 3 years ago that we actually made great headway and actually won heartily in Enfield, and particularly made gains in Enfield Southgate. And last year at the local elections, we managed to hold the seats we had in Enfield Southgate, but we also gained more councillors in Southgate Green, and we have Claire here with us today, Claire Stewart, and Daniel Anderson, who's not here. But I think that shows the way the tide is turning back into Enfield Southgate, into making it Labour, and being out on the doorstep with Bambos this morning and on a regular basis. It's clear that local people know who Bambos is. He's well known, and I have to say, personally knowing Bambos for 20 years, and having served as his ward partner as a councillor in Palmer's Green, I don't know of anybody that's more decent and actually a genuinely nice guy. And I think that comes across, and everyone knows that. So I'm backing Bambos. I'm happy that you all are. And if you've seen, we've got the T-shirts and the posters now. So please put up a poster in your window that will create a great atmosphere as we knock on the doors. And please buy the T-shirts as well. There will be collector's items, I'm sure, in future. And I'm sure as an extra bonus, Bambos will personally sign them all as well if you want to. So I'm very grateful that I'm here today and supporting my very good friend, in fact one of my best friends, and I want to see him in Parliament. So thank you.
We're now going to introduce Doug Taylor, but before Doug Taylor speaks, I just want to say that we also have Dinah Barry, who's our councillor in Winchmore Hill, who's one of our successes. Okay, so, and without any further ado, I'm going to invite Doug to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Bambos, and it's great to be here and see so many people backing Bambos, and he deserves your support. One of the things about general elections and the run-up to a general election is it affirms why you believe what you believe. And I don't know how many people, and David Lammy earlier referred to the debate a little earlier this week, I don't know how many of you saw David Cameron and his contribution to the debate. And, you know, the first question about zero-hour contracts and could he live on a zero-hour contract. I think one of the great things about elections, it focuses our mind on why there is only one political party that we should support. There is only one political party that will make a real change in this country. There is only one political party that will bring about social justice, and why we have to get rid of this Tory government. And I think we all get a bit energised by elections, and we should be, because they are terrible, aren't they? They are terrible. And I know, as leader of the council in Enfield, the sort of things that we have to do because of the cuts that are imposed on us, and the difficulty that the National Health Service will have in the future if we have a returned Tory government. So we have to ensure that we have a Labour government on May the 8th, and not only a minority Labour government, but a Labour government that doesn't have to rely on anybody else. And that means we have to win a lot of seats, and we have to win Enfield, Southgate. Now, I've known Bambos for over 30 years. Indeed, I think we must have been at nursery school together, I think, in order for that to be true. Is that right, Bambos? Absolutely. Must have been the case. And I've worked with Bambos in the council for a considerable period of time, both as a councillor, both politically in terms of the community, and in the role he's played in our cabinet in the past. And you could not find a person who is straighter, more decent, more hard-working, more committed, and who makes a real difference to the community. We all have to back Bambos, and we have to ensure he beats David Burrows. Bambos will not only be a fantastic constituency member of Parliament, but will make a real difference to a Labour government and help to ensure that not only are we in power, but we make a real difference for this country. So what we need to ensure on May the 8th, when we wake up on May the 8th, after doing all that work in the run-up to then, is that we have Ed Miliband at number 10 and Pambos Charalambos as the Labour MP for Enfield Southgate. Pambos Charalambos.
I want to start by saying thank you so much for coming along tonight. It's a fantastic turnout, and thank you for all your help that you've given me. This is truly a team effort. We go out door knocking 6 times a week now, phone canvassing once a week, and every time we go out canvassing, there are many, many people here who've knocked on the doors with me. We have We have our joys and we have our sort of funny moments. We also have some strange moments as well, one of which was when we canvassed somebody's door. The door opened and a dog appeared. No owner, just a dog. It is a joy, and I think we got the dog vote, yeah. And one of the joys is doing it with such a fantastic team. There's a true camaraderie, but we've been doing it non-stop since the council elections in May. We took a week off after the council elections, and we've been continuous in that period of time. We've built up a momentum, and we truly believe that we can do it. And how do I know this? Because we've done it already. We did it in the council elections, having Claire, Diana and Daniel winning their seats in Southgate Green and Winchmore Hill was huge. And coming so close to having Andreas as a councillor in Southgate ward with about 40 or 50 votes off that was also massive, because in those two wards, in Winchmore Hill and Southgate, we didn't put out a single leaflet hardly. And now that's where we're focused. If we win those two wards, then it's huge. We are going to win Enfield Southgate. But to do that, we need two things. We need money, which is why we're here tonight, but we also need people on the ground, both out door knocking at the weekends and also on the day itself. So far we've spoken to over 31,000 people. About 15,000 of those said they're going to vote Labour, but we need to make sure those 15,000 people come out and vote on the day itself. So if you can imagine, you've got one day to speak to 15,000 people, it's a tall order, and that's why we need as many people to come out on the day and help us out. It is truly a team effort, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for many of the people in this room. So I'm deeply touched and honoured that you are here today. I was talking to a gentleman over there who said, you don't smile enough. Believe me, if we win on May the 7th, I'll be smiling a hell of a lot.
Ό,τι αρχίσει ωραίο τελειώνει με πόνο. Οι πικραμένες καρδιές το ξέρουνε μόνο. Είναι κακό στην άμμο να χτίσεις παλάτια. Σαν τα κάνει συντρίμια κομμάτια. Κι είναι κακό στην άμμο να χτίσεις παλάτια. Ποδόνια σαν τα κάνει συντρίμια κομμάτια. ξεκινάμε με όνειρα χίλια. Θα κρεπίσει ο πόνος, η φτώχεια κι η σιγά. Είναι κακό